right. So I was gonna try to give away something. Okay, so what's going on? What's going on, Brendan?
He's,
Did your
he's
mic get
muting and
unplugged?
unmuting.
Yeah, he's muting and unmuting. I think your signal's not coming through. It's like as soon as we start, we just have technical difficulties. Anyway.
Okay, I gotta change this Discord name to Bag Milk.
No. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, he's left. Okay. All right, so we'll get him back hopefully. But hello?
Am I back?
Oh yes, you're back. Yes.
I'm not going to touch my microphone.
Is it a little touchy?
Sorry about that.
That's a bad idea, man.
My microphone stand.
So yeah, thanks for coming on, Brendan.
Thanks for having me.
So we got some fantastic music to hear. I haven't heard most of this music, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
Heard any of it.
Okay, so
I can't wait.
all right, which song
It's going to be a ride.
which song are we starting with?
I think we start with "It's Good to Be a Duck."
It's good to be a duck. Okay, let's start with "It's good to be a duck."
That'll set the mood.
Okay, let's set the mood.
Quack, quack, cluck, it's good to be a duck. Quack, quack, cluck, it's good to be a duck. A duck, a duck, a duck. Say what? I walked on my way to the pond. A duck, okay. I quack, not cluck, I love to lie down on the lawn. Cluck, cluck, quack, it's good to be a duck. Quack, quack, cluck, it's good to be a duck. I'm a duck, go on. I know what kind, the type that loves a good scratch on your head. Of course. Your beak, what else? I never knew that about dogs. Quack, 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 it's good to be a duck. Quackity, quackity, cluckity, cluck, it's good to be a duckity duck. Now, is it possible for me to be a duck? I don't know. Do you like to pluck? I do. And sway all the time, and eat every day. And wiggle your feet to a rock and roll beat, and I eat some bread while bobbing my head. Why, yes, I'm in a duck. This'll be so much fun. Quack, quack, quack. It's good to be a duck. Quack, quack, clock. It's good to be a duck. So it does. That's right. So what do we do? Let's see if we can find some food. Not chips, no chips. They give me the runs. Being a duck is so much fun. Quack, quack, clock. It's good to be a duck. Cluck, cluck, quack. It's good to be a duck. Quackity, quackity, woppity, woppity. It's good to be a duckity, woppity. Quack, quack, click. It's good to be a duck.
I had to say that was revolutionary and it changed my life.
Quack, quack, quack.
I like how you rhymed you rhymed words with duck that didn't rhyme with duck. That was really impressive.
Art is bold, right? You just got to go for it sometimes.
Oh
It
yes.
was great.
I like the ending. Quack, quack, click. It's good to be a duck.
Yes, yeah. So what was the inspiration behind this album? Like what prompted you to start making it?
For like the kids album, I wrote "It's Good to Be a Duck" years and years and years ago, and it just came to me one day like, "Yo, ducks, that's a good life," and that song just like recorded itself in 10 minutes, and then my sister had a kid, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna record an album while he's like becoming a kid." So he turned 1, and Jack Attack was when I released that when he was 1. And I put "It's Good to Be a Duck" in there because that's kind of started the whole thing. I realized that I can write well in GFC, just like the easy chords. I find psych rock so hard and so difficult, but I love it because you can do whatever you want. But following like a path of music, like a kid's kind of framework, it's just so much easier to make it sound good.
That's awesome. So you just use like simple chords with these type of songs?
Like that's like F F C G G C F F G C G C over and over again.
I think it's cool that you went from that and then you also had like the more complex like psychedelic rock and all that.
Oh yeah, my music has gone through definite phases. Yeah, like I prefer having the full band sound because I started off as a drummer when I was 8, and then I learned guitar and all the rest, and then everything comes together at that point when you learn how to record and you just play it all.
So you're in a band also?
I used to be. I was in a band in Toronto for a few years playing our stuff, and then I moved out west of Victoria, and then I played out there in a band. Then when I moved back to Canada, I was in Hamilton, and there's no one that plays music around here, or at least the music I like to play. I jammed with a couple people that played rockabilly, and they only played rockabilly, so it's like not really my style.
So it's just a lot of rockabilly where you live?
Oh, it's Jack Daniels and rockabilly. Like we were jamming, and one guy never had heard of Weezer. He didn't know who Weezer was.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I just want to play Satan, so I want to play something. But he did know The Passenger by Iggy Pop, and so that was a fun jam. But yeah, rockabilly.
That's interesting because like is it like it's like a smaller town?
I'm on. When I was playing in that band, I was really in the woods. I was up on like a mountain town. But now I switched from like a biology background and going into chiropractic college to. So now I do coding and data science. So I can kind of live more in the woods and just kind of play music and record better. It's nice.
That's great. So you're a coder?
I do Python, yeah.
Python? Okay. Yeah, because I know a lot of Python too. That's cool.
Do you really? Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. So what do you like work on?
So I do right now at work like social media analysis stuff and just like fun machine learning model things. I do some music related ones. Like I made a Python script that shuffles a deck of cards and then writes a song based off of the order and the suits and the numbers and all that stuff. So I love Python. I'm a huge Python
Whoa.
junkie now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because you can definitely like prototype something really quickly with Python.
Yeah, it takes like 3 hours to get an idea down, and it's a beautiful language. I'm totally obsessed with it.
So were you getting into a lot of like machine learning stuff?
Oh yeah, I also have a unhealthy obsession with Super Smash Brothers. So the GameCube one. And,
Oh, of course.
I've been trying to make like what's the word, like image recognition ones that can like read information off the screen. A vocal controller for Smash, so you can go like, "Hey Fox, run right, do a wave smash and upshine," and he'll go and do that and upshine. So I've had a lot of fun with Python Smash music.
Oh, so it has to like recognize the image so then it can determine actually what it's doing, or?
Yeah, so one would be, well, there's three main projects with Smash. One would be like a AI bot, like one that actually plays the game, and then another one that like reads the images and says, "Oh, there's two foxes on screen. It's on Dreamland," stuff like that, to grab stats.
Sounds
And
awesome.
then, yeah.
Because I know like with if you're doing like real time image recognition, like in a game, you'd have to be like really short on how big your like networks are, or your neural networks.
Yeah. You have to make it all black and white and just like mess around with all the pixels, and it's really annoying.
Because I read a couple of like NVIDIA papers about like image recognition and like anti-aliasing with like machine learning, and it seems like you can't have that many layers in your network because it's doing.
There's no real good way to do it.
Yes.
For Smash, the best way to get stats is they deassembled the code finally, so now we have access to that.
Oh, really? Someone like broke it apart?
Oh, like geniuses! Like learned assembly and hex code. Like,
no, assembly's insane. Yeah, I read a book about like this huge like 2,000 page book about assembly. It's
so
like,
you know, assembly's insane.
yeah, it's insane. No, it's weird because it's like it's individual instructions for the CPU, so it's like
bit by bit.
But it's weird because I think isn't Python written in like C++ and then C++ is written in assembly, so it's like layers on top of each other.
Yeah, which is great because it's like a higher level. You don't have to worry about that stuff. But if you want to go at the bit level, you can.
You just work your way down. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking love Python. I'm so happy to talk about Python.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I love both things. Yeah.
I don't. It's funny because I don't know a lot of people that are into like coding and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like it's hard. I finally found a job where people write Python, so I get to talk about it more.
That's great.
But it's something that not many people do.
I would eventually want to get into that. I'm doing like game design and stuff right now because that's what I think is the most fun.
Oh, I love all that stuff. Like using what's the word? Blender. Use Blender to 3D model design.
Heck yes.
To try that, it's like I just love like art and making shit.
Well, I didn't expect us to have so much in common, honestly. Like I do the same type of stuff.
That's dope.
That's crazy, man. All right. Let's you want to play another song?
Another song.
Another. Okay, what song's next? What?
Let's do. I'm torn between. So we were talking earlier. Little Birds or Let You Down. Let You Down is a good lick to it.
All right, Let You Down. Let me find it. Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it ready. Is it
This one?
Hang on one sec.
Responded to better, but I don't hit the high notes all the time, so like it's one of those things that I don't like listening to, but I like everything else about it.
It's fine. I think it's weird because like
driving beat.
I've noticed that like about my songs too. Like there's people don't really notice the things that I notice that I think is wrong with the song. You know what I mean? It's just like a.
There's so many parts where you go but no one else hears it. No one else will ever hear it.
This is Let You Down. All right, so life after bourbon. Where did that come from?
Bourbon. That song is also very fun to play on the drums. So I was working for my university one summer, and we were going to go up to Northwest Territories in the swamp and count trees. So the night before we were like supposed to pack the trucks, my buddy and I drank we just drank bourbon for no reason. And then the next day, we were just so hungover, sweating bourbon. I just felt like shit. And so I was like, I'm never drinking bourbon again, like life after bourbon. So these are all the songs that I've recorded after that period of my life.
Oh, that's awesome. So, so you haven't drank bourbon since, or?
Oh God, no, I can't. Yeah.
No, I know what that. Yeah, when you
makes
get
you
really
sick,
sick, when you get really sick on one type of alcohol, it's like you'd never go back.
Yeah, so bourbon's my one type. Bourbon it just destroyed me. So yeah, and that sounds cool. I have sticky notes on my computer of like bad band names that I've come up with, and Life After Bourbon was one of the good ones.
What are some of the bad ones?
Some of the bad ones.
Do you have the sticky notes?
Oh yeah, there's Kirby's Afterlife, which it's kind of a bad one. When Drugs Were Fun, I like that one, but this is my favorite bad one. Night Pupe, spelt like night and then Puep. I don't know.
What is that? What does that mean?
I just wrote that. I don't know. It was like a German thing, and then
All right.
Hold My Beer is another bad band name. So yeah, I have a few bad.
That's a rockabilly band, right? It's Hold My Beer. isn't that right?
Fucking fuck rockabilly. You can't play drums to it. It's just like this. I love watching it being played.
So do you like other types of like folk music like that? Do you like bluegrass or anything?
I went through my like big bluegrass folk period when I was going through high school, and like started getting into like classic rock, Gordon Lightfoot, Neil Young, all those like real classic old folk bands. I really connected with Elliott Smith like in 2003 or 4. Elliott junkie, and then all of my non-rock songs, basically everything I write is like you can hear the Elliott Smith pulls in different sections because I'm always trying to borrow from, or I'm always just like borrowing from him because I've listened to him so much. So I definitely have a big soft spot for like the soft rock, or like the soft folk singer. But then I went through a huge AFI phase.
Oh, right.
And then I just love heavy stuff. I love my favorite bands right now are like Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, King Gizzard, the OCs. I'm really liking just like driven rock or like really melodic rock or complicated jazz. Basically, as what's the new one? The new band, Black Midi. They're like noise rock.
Oh, I haven't heard them. It sounds familiar though. That sounds really familiar.
Album Schlagelheim, and it's like the most revolutionary, insane, dope album I've heard like in a long time. It's just like for me, it was like one of those moments in rock that like it changed the way I looked at music after that album. That's such a cool thing.
That's awesome. Wait, what's the album called again?
Schlagelheim.
Schlagelheim?
Schlagelheim by Black Midi.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out later. I like that kind of music. Like the song we just played. Yeah, I heard the heaviness to it compared to the Duck song or whatever.
Right? Yeah, I kind of jumped from like happy to the darkest one.
That's awesome.
I was in a pretty it was like, you know, when you go to those like low periods, like I want to write a heavy song, so
that's cool.
Popped up that guy.
So how do you approach singing? So where'd you get started singing?
Singing. It's been my hardest thing. I dread it. I dread every time I have to go and do that. I'd rather record every other instrument and have someone else come and sing for me. But everyone's busy, so I kind of pair up with my friends that are girls. So on my channel, I have a song where my friend sang because she has a really good voice. My cover of Between the Bars with Elliott Smith, that was my other friend, so she sang that. So I try to get other singers as much as I can, and the quality is always so much better.
Yeah, because you have a good voice. I heard your voice; it was good. So,
thank you.
It just
it was so bad for so long. I finally figured out how to sing a little better in the last 5 years. That I've kind of just conditioned myself to assume my voice is going to be terrible. I just try to hit the notes.
Oh, right.
Or I try to hit the notes that I'm playing because I'm totally tone deaf when I sing.
Okay, so
although I am better live when I actually like am pushed to it and have to try, but when I'm recording, I just can't seem to hit the notes.
Oh, right. That's how it always works. When you get into front of the microphone, it's just like everything just
add reverb and then chorus, then I take it off, and then I put it back in. Then I learned EQing basically just so I could make my voice sound better. So you can hear the evolution. Like it's Good to Be a Duck was pretty lo-fi, and then Let You Down still has that lo-fi kick to it. But songs like Seen It Coming, that one's like clean. It's acoustic. It has a good instrumentation walk in, but it's with writing a structured song that is like melodically fun to listen to, that has a beginning, middle, and end, instead of just writing. I tend to write like in a folk storyline, but like without the lyrics, so bars differently. But then I mix that up with like making a structure, so I'll put structure bars that shouldn't be where they are in like weird places. I think is how I kind of approach songwriting as a whole. So
what's an example of putting a structure in the weird place?
The two songs, either This Is It, Don't You Realize That? Oh, actually, Seen It Coming is like that because it's basically an intro played twice into like a verse twice into like back to the intro twice to back to the verse twice, and like stuff like that. Like whereas 7/12, I thought.
Oh, 7/12?
Yeah, I tried playing it to a friend. I think it's Nicolette, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? Like 7/12?" I was like,
no, yeah. Sometimes you come up with like a riff or something, and it'll sound really good, and then you realize there's like an extra beat in it, and it's like, oh, okay, I guess I gotta change everything else, you know.
And I'm always trying to. The drums are my first instrument. Drums are what I like to do to play the most, but also they're kind of the hardest to record because I'm the more. So I kind of struggle getting what I really want down, but I have to play things more simple than I like. I like playing more like crazy shit, but that always like clogs up the beat and clogs up whatever else is trying to listen to.
Oh yeah, miking drums is a lot of work, definitely. And they can like bleed into each other. Like you have to have like 12 different mics, and they can not bleed into each other wrong, and then it'll just like sound all muddy, and it's really takes an art.
EQing, like toms and shit. Yeah,
there's definitely an art to the like recording that people don't think about.
And then the drums for like my last few songs are all electronic. I think we should play Chocolate Chips. This one.
Yes.
This has like a killer piano melody along with the vocal line that I'm really proud of, and it's just a really fun jingle.
Oh heck yeah! Let's play. This is Chocolate Chips. This is. This is...
Chocolate chips, chocolate chips, the only kind of chip where you don't need a dip. Chocolate chips, chocolate chips, give me those chocolate chips. So let me get this straight, I get the chocolate chips. Oh yeah, eat the chips with the dip. Oh, now you don't need that dip with those chocolate chips. Okay, my friend, you got it wrong, you gotta listen to the song. Chocolate chips, chocolate chips, the only kind of chip where you don't need a dip. Yeah. Chocolate chips, chocolate chips, give me that chocolate fix. Now tell me, are there other ways to eat the chips? Why yes, there is. Could you give me a hint? Sprinkled, melted, baked, or blended, skim or milk is chocolate heaven. Roasted, toasted, whacked, or mashed, a yummy, tummy chocolate blast. Chocolate chips, the only kind of chip where you don't need a dip. Yeah, chocolate chips, oh give me those chocolate chips. Chocolate chips, chocolate chips, the only kind of chip where you don't need a dip. Yeah. Chocolate chips, oh give me that chocolate fix.
That was just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
No, I like
Sure
yeah.
it
You don't
was.
need a dip. You don't need a dip for chocolate chips.
This is the only kind of chip you don't need to dip.
But I've dipped chocolate chips before, to be fair. Like if you take like a bag of chocolate chips and mix it up with a jar of peanut butter and then eat it with a spoon.
Caramel, yeah, peanut butter. Maybe I'm lying to the kids, but
It's a good rhyme though. It's perfect. It's perfect.
yeah. It's a lesson they're going to learn anyways. And like that's fun. That's like C chocolate chips to like G down to D to C. Like they're all the same.
So I heard the electronic drums. So what do you use for electronic drums?
Ooh, I got an old Roland kit. So it's taken like 10 years to figure out how to record with that stupid thing. It's just getting it to sound ambient, so it's like filling a room without sounding artificial, has been really tough. And also like my recording setup is pretty old school. I use a Roland 2.0 capture. I recently switched to MIDI capture, so now I can like space the drums a little better. But before it was like a single input drum, so that was really hard to make sound good and full.
Oh right, yeah, I can understand like when you mix it like that, it's hard to get the ambience of the room.
It's so hard.
Because normally you have like a room mic. Yeah, usually you have a room mic and like the recording studio, they'll put like a mic in the corner of the room or whatever, so it captures the whole drum set.
I have recordings. Well, like I think most of them on the site are actually. I just got better at how to record them. Where I do have a bunch of recordings that are acoustic drums, but I sold my kit, and that was like selling a child. It was the single worst thing I've ever done. But
dang,
I had to move to university, so I had to sell the kit.
Yeah, you can't really carry that much crap with you when you go to university, right?
I learned guitar and bass.
All right, so it takes up less space.
Yeah,
that's the hardest thing about like being in a band too, is like you have to go to the drummer's house, so because they can't like move their kit everywhere.
I've always struggled finding like a good because you have to find people that either have a kit and like aren't the drummer, or because I never really I used to have a kit, don't have one now, or the space to actually jam. On top of finding people that you actually like jam well with and play music you like.
Oh yeah, because if you do it in like your garage or something, then people get angry. Like your neighbors get angry.
I finally have a house, so I kind of want to just make the basement a whole freaking studio, because why not?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Well, you can like soundproof the walls or something, right? You could like put like padding around it.
A lot of work.
That is a lot of work. Yeah.
I'd rather just have them pissed off.
And then, I mean, it's hard to. You can't really practice the drums quietly. You can't turn it down, you know.
Like the electric drums are okay noise wise, but you can still hear it. You can definitely hear it, especially the bass, because you're just slapping it. But yeah, actually, when I play in bands, my preferred instrument is drums. I don't think I've played my songs live like a handful of times, but always with acoustic and never with a full band. No one has really been able to find that timing, I think, that I need, because I know my timing's weird.
Right, when you use odd time signatures and all that, like, yeah, it's hard to find someone that practices that a lot.
Yeah, and like has the patience to learn these dumb songs. But
yeah, honestly, like a good drummer is hard to find no matter what, especially if you play like metal or like progressive rock or any of that kind of stuff.
Get stamina for that stuff.
You ever seen like have you ever seen an obese drummer? I don't think so. Yeah, they really got to work hard. Yeah.
My favorite joke growing up was, what do you call the drummer that loses his girlfriend? Homeless.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, where's he gonna put his drums? Yeah, he's gonna carry it around with him in his shopping cart. You got a shopping cart full of drums. That's all you got.
Shitty Chevy.
I don't know. So are you?
It's okay. I was a struggling drummer for years. Sorry, go on.
I just forgot what I was gonna ask you.
I think. Oh, and like I love learning new instruments. So half the instruments, I don't have the track up here. I took it down for some reason. I had a melodica. I found a 1960s Horner melodica, so I got to record that in it.
Wait, what is that?
It's one of those like pianos that you blow into, so it's like a recorder.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Had a beautiful sound. You just had to tune to that, and then Bob's your uncle, but it was pretty bang on C if I remember.
Oh, look, it's Cameron.
Hi.
What's up, Cameron?
I figured I.
No, I moved him.
Oh, you kicked him out? He's at work. He works at like a deli, and he like jumps in from his deli.
I'm the server of the meats, as they call it.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, you guys want some discount barbecue? Come up here to Northern California, and I got you.
Wait, how much?
Shit.
How much of a discount?
50% off.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I think it's
Are
probably
you paying for flights.
Yeah, I know. It's like is the flight worth? I'd have to buy a lot of sandwiches to make up for paying for that flight.
Yeah,
You know.
Pretty good.
Dude, I just got back from the tour, man. I was all the way down in LA.
How'd that go?
It was good. We were in San Luis Obispo. Some homeless guy kicked my car, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? And like, I don't want to start anything, but my drummer was like, fuck it, let's start something. So while we're pulling out, he grabs his like soda cup from McDonald's and chucks it at the homeless guy, and it fucking explodes all over him. And he puts up double middle fingers, and he's like, motherfucker!
Awesome.
It was rad.
Whoa, man, that's LA, right? Isn't that what LA is just like?
No, that's like kind of like 2 hours outside of LA, but it
Right.
was still funny as hell.
You guys don't know this, but my area, Hamilton, is basically the Detroit of Canada.
Oh no!
You're from
Oh no!
Hamilton?
Yeah, from the Hammer.
Oh, do you know the Dirty Nil?
What?
You ever heard of
No.
the Dirty Nil? The band?
Oh, it's a band. Okay, I thought it was like something weird.
Oh no, it's a band called. They're from Hamilton, Ontario.
I don't go to any shows in Hamilton because it's such a bitch to get into the city.
You go to the Casbah?
No, I don't go to anything in Hamilton. It's so gross. If I go to somewhere, I go to Toronto.
Toronto? Fuck. All right. Well, I'm gonna get back to work. You have fun with the Canadian dudes. Later. Have fun on your anniversary.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
I really like Cameron.
Cameron's hilarious. Yeah, he was one of our guests, and he just like stuck around, and now we're friends.
Oh, there we go.
It's pretty cool. It's interesting because I never really had like friends that I only knew on the internet before, but ever since I started doing this, it's like I talk to people a lot more. You know.
They're hard to make. A podcast is a good way to do it.
Oh yeah. Because you don't really know anything about. It's hard to like.
Yeah.
It's hard to like send a message to somebody to understand like what they're thinking. You know, it's just because there's like inflection in people's voices and all that.
Finding interests that sync. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
It's a tough one.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. See, I didn't know.
That was a good start.
I didn't know you lived in the Detroit of Canada. I didn't know that.
Oh God, yeah. So, well, like I work in like the bad part of Hamilton, like one block up of the bad part, and like for Canada, you know, it's bad because one person was shot there like 8 months ago, but that's still pretty bad. When I went to work one day, there was a homicide in front of like the train tracks, and that's just like, oh, okay, so this is happening. Hamilton is just crazy.
I try not to look up the crime reports in my area because it's like scary. It's like terrifying every time I do. I look it up.
Yeah, America's a little different. Yeah, the crimes. It sounds a little.
It's like I looked at it, it's like there was like 4 stabbings like last week or something. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Fuck.
It's just like the middle of Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I go to Toronto if I do stuff. It's just safer.
Yeah. So how's There's a lot of beautiful places in Canada. Definitely.
Canada's gorgeous. I've actually driven across the country. I lived in Halifax and I drove to Victoria and I worked up in Northwest Territories. I did some tree planting in northern Manitoba. Yeah, it's a beautiful. The West is just the best. West is gorgeous, but the East is fun. The East know how to drink.
So wait, tree planting? So you go around and help nature?
Sucks.
You don't like planting trees? You don't like planting trees?
It's good. You know, it's good for everybody, but man, it's grueling.
I've planted shrubs. The most I've done is shrubs. I'm not up to trees yet. I haven't graduated.
Tree planting is this whole deal. You like take a helicopter to like a patch in the clear-cut woods and walk around planting trees for 7 hours, then walk 2 kilometers back to the helicopter. And there's a lot of drugs there.
It sounds a lot of fun though, honestly.
But it sucks.
So just because you're there for 7 hours and you can't leave because you're in the middle of nowhere?
heat stroke or
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
heat stroke like my third day, just because like the water was bleached too. Like everything was bad,
What?
and it was really cold.
The water was bleached?
The way that they cleaned the tanks, like it didn't like it's the chlorine, so
Whoa.
I didn't
Whoa.
drink a lot of water.
That's insane. That's like a really big, serious oversight.
It's a serious, yeah. So I left.
So how hot does it get?
Or like here's been hot as fuck.
Yeah, but like how hot is like extremely hot? Because it's north. I know it's north, but like
two guys in Phoenix, I think it hit like 36 the other day, and that was like that destroyed us inside. I had to stay inside the whole day.
so what is
36.
that's in the 90s. I think it's in the 90s in Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah. Because 30 and
Yeah,
30 degrees is 90 in Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit is really stupid. It's the dumbest measurement system on Earth. Like,
Imperial thing.
okay, no, like,
It's American.
because Celsius makes so much sense. It's like, okay, 100 degrees is the boiling point of water. That makes 100% sense.
America's like, was it like Cambodia uses imperial and like
Yeah, so
Libya.
yeah, Fahrenheit is what 256 degrees is the boiling point of water, and 32 degrees is the freezing point of water. So you gotta like when you convert Celsius, it's just like in between that.
Yeah, Celsius is just like, or Kelvin's great. I like Kelvin. If we're talking ways to measure temperature.
I haven't used Kelvin since like chemistry class in college or whatever.
Oh, I love chemistry.
Yeah, what's the best part about
physics.
chemistry?
That's my favorite. I love Stoic because like you make things balance and it works.
Oh, physics?
It's just fun. Or like stoichiometry is balancing chemical equations.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I did not like that. That's the thing. Like, I tried to get the teacher to explain to me because I just didn't understand it very well, and it's like maybe I should try again because I was like 18 last time I tried it, and that's been like 6 years. So maybe I should try it again.
Like optics fucked me up. I quit chemistry in university when it got to optics. I was like, fuck it, I can't do this.
Okay, optics. Yeah, what's crazy about optics?
Like the chemical wavelengths and like how like electrons would like bounce off their wavelength and that was the like the math or beyond that and all that stuff. It didn't compute in my brain back then.
Isn't it crazy that like isn't it crazy like everything physical in the world can be like figured out with a math problem?
It's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Oh, we can go deep. We can get quantum level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so okay, quantum level.
We can get very spiritual.
Oh yeah, like are we in a simulation because everything's described with math?
Learn programming, the more like probably makes sense.
That's
The
why
Big Bang, right? Something just started and then now we have this, but like
well,
that's like a computer turning on.
Yeah, that makes sense, dude. It's like that show Reboot. Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah, Reboot. Yeah, that was huge in Canada. Yeah.
That was big in Canada. That's hilarious because I talk about it and people have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's like
Yeah. Well, sounds really familiar.
see, he doesn't know. It's like it was when I was like a little kid. I remember it was on TV.
Computer graphics.
Yeah, it was like this really bad old like computer graphics, and it was like yeah, it was about inside of the computer.
Programs trying to chase viruses.
Yeah, it was like Osmosis Jones, but in a computer instead of a person.
No, I think I know what you're talking.
Also, great movie.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie. Yeah,
Osmosis Jones.
and then they make like a really weird TV show out of it. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, well, they didn't have Bill Murray.
Yes, exactly. I was like, "Where's Bill Murray?"
It was okay. I thought it was good.
Okay, what?
It as a kid.
No, it's coming. That's so weird. It's coming back to me. All these memories. It's so weird.
All these Canadian memories. That's something I thought only people from Toronto knew. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was on TV when I was a kid. Yeah.
Definitely something. Aliens exist. Are you guys gonna go to Area 51?
It's pretty close by to me, so I mean,
It's pretty close, right?
it's probably it's probably a 4 or 5 hour drive. So that's not that
Aren't they,
bad.
like given to move their aliens, right?
They probably moved him a long time ago.
Keep them there.
We just talked about this in the last episode for like 30 minutes. We talked about aliens and like Bob Lazar and Area 51 and all that.
I watched that documentary. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Oh yeah. It's a very important topic. Aliens.
Is it good? Is it a good movie?
I love the shit out of that stuff. I think we didn't need to watch Jeremy Corbyn in his kitchen touching himself for like 30 minutes, but
That guy is so weird, man. I don't know about him.
it took away from what is potentially very interesting. But they kind of just slid past some of the weird stuff, like him running a prostitution ring and be like, "Oh, a slap on the hand. Okay, oops, I shouldn't have done that." Like
That's
some
what-
sketchy shit. Yeah.
That's what I heard about. Like, people didn't like about it. Was it just it didn't focus on a lot of the important parts?
Bring him to the woods. He's like, "I can't tell you anything about this." And Jeremy's like, "Is this about element 115?" He's like, "I can't tell you anything about it." And then it cuts and never talks about it again. So what the fuck?
Well, did you watch the Joe Rogan podcast where they brought him on?
That was also awesome. I watched that first, and that got me to watch the documentary.
Oh, right. Okay, that makes sense.
And, I think Bob, see, when he speaks, he doesn't seem like the kind of, the judge of character. Watching him on film, he seems to be authentically talking about what he's talking about. But,
I don't know. I mean, if you like rehearse a fake story, I don't know. I think it could go either way, honestly. But if I guess if you like rehearse a fake story like hundreds or thousands of times over like 20 years, then I feel like he could be believable with it,
He's obviously a smart guy. Like, he's clearly a smart guy, so.
Definitely, yeah. So should we go to another song now, or?
So I'm gonna suggest we listen to Nicolette. This one was, I realized I make better instrumentals because I don't have to sing to them. So this one is cool. It has two drums panned to the side, like the song you contacted me for, number 62. Same kind of setup, but this one, I think this is the 712 one. This has a fun timing to it.
Oh, fantastic! I like this song. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some sort of timing. It has a good build up. Very explosions in the sky is kind of what I was going for.
That's a great band.
It's a beautiful band. I love that band. Attempt at kind of explosions in the sky.
All right, this is Nicolette. Oh, good. This song's 5 minutes long. I can go to take a piss. I'm like a radio DJ, Jamie. It's always in my dream. I'm a fucking radio. See, I'm a radio DJ in the.
Do you have people on your shit watching right now? Is anybody watching, or is it like Timmy's podcast?
No, we have people that watch.
Like right now, are you viewers? Or
I don't know. I didn't look at it. But yeah, we have a few viewers every week. It's on like Spotify and iTunes and all that shit.
Oh really? How many viewers you have on Spotify?
I think I'll show you in a minute. I'll bring up the numbers and stuff. I turned it up.
Okay, I'm just waiting.
It's steadily getting more,
Oh yeah.
Takes time, man.
You gotta get Alex Jones as a guest.
Now you Kanye West.
Kanye West, Alex Jones, Dottie Gatz.
This is honestly like the best episode we've ever done, though. It's fucking hilarious. Hell yeah, dude. Let's start a band. Let's start an Explosions in the Sky cover band.
Oh my god, yes.
Are you actually not going to eat today? Can you handle it? You got to drink a lot of water, bro. What'd you get?
McDonald's.
It's right down the street.
Hello? Oh, is this Alan?
That was pretty sweet. They. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, it sounded really good. I like that type of music and everything. The like the explosions in the sky and what's it called? What's the genre? I don't know. What it's actually called. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Maybe I'll give it a shot sometime. I don't know. So, dude. Yeah, I think it's good that you have a foundation in drums. That's definitely because I don't have that, and I think it's like a weakness for me when I play the guitar because I don't have as much rhythm and like consistency. Yeah, I think starting with drums is a really good idea. No, it's so hard. Yeah, it's all you almost want to like go to a studio and have someone just record the drums and then go back and do the rest. Oh yeah, they complement each other. Yeah, you can like sometimes you can't like distinctly hear the bass, but you can hear like you can hear it when it's with the drums. You can because it adds more body to everything. Like what about like unless you're like Motorhead, then you can have like bass right in the front. So, yeah, thanks for coming on, man. So where can people find you, and where should they look for your music? Okay, I put the link. I put the link for that one already. I gotta put the Bandcamp one though, because that Kids album is just really, really something. I gotta listen to the rest of it. You know? Plant Dance is a rap in it. Do we have time for one more song then? I think we do. Shoot, okay, Plant Dance. All right, no, this is legendary. This is probably the best episode of this podcast. Just this music is so good. I'm not. All right, this is Plant Dance. Oh yeah. Wait, so do you know like the difference between the edible? Do you like eat plants when you go hiking? Do you know which ones? Like not psilocybin, no. Like that's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of weird looking mushrooms that are just like cool to look at. All right, this is the Plant Dance.
Plant dance, everybody dancing like a plant. Plant dance, everybody dancing like a plant. Plant, everybody dancing like a plant. Swing, clap, shake or dip. Don't move your feet now, that's the trick. Back when I was just a sprout, I was just too small to get around. Didn't know much about my roots or shoots in the ground out looking for food. Then one day I took a chance, opened my arms and started to dance. On the grass and in the sun, there's just no better way to have fun. Let's do the plant dance, everybody dancing like a plant. The plant dance, dancing plant. We now dancing
Fantastic. Thanks for coming on, Brendan. We appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me. Yeah, I was trying to think of like what's the latest kind of dance. Plants can't dance. Let's plant dance.
Plants can dance if you believe in yourself.
And that's what I hope the kids will feel.
And the power of botany.
Yeah, I know it's boring, but yeah, nature's just so much fun. Thank you so much for having me on. This was a blast, and those are more episodes. This is dope.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Okay, so we were gonna do a giveaway next week to one of the audience members, but yeah. So I asked for suggestions. I'm just gonna read some of the suggestions what people said they want us to give away, because before we close out here, they're really crappy. That's why we didn't give anything away today, because they're all really bad suggestions.
We're giving away free copies of my Jack Attack album.
We're giving away free copies of Brendan's album. All right, so there's gonna be a link down below. All right, so Kyle said your favorite coffee cup. So which I actually have next to me right now, my favorite coffee cup. So it's actually mine, and I'm not gonna give it away because it's kind of dirty. I don't know. And then someone said one of their broken drumsticks that they can't use anymore. When you give. And then we got one single potato chip, and that's what Cameron said.
A single potato chip.
A single potato chip. And then someone posted a link of this like website that sells like extreme ghost pepper potato chips, but they only sell one at a time. It's like $5 for literally one chip. And it's and then someone said a stripper, which I mean, I don't know. You gotta go get that yourself, buddy.
Can you feed the chip to the stripper?
Probably, yeah. Probably work. Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
You don't want to eat that chip. Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Check out Brenda's music down below in the link, and subscribe to YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. What else? Spotify, iTunes, whatever you're listening on. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.